Think about the last time you tried to tell your parent they hurt you. How did it end? Because if you're like a lot of people, it didn't just end with them understanding, it ended with you apologizing. You walked in wanting to be heard, and somehow you walked out managing their feelings, comforting them, defending yourself, or just choosing to let it go because it wasn't worth the storm that would come after. If that feels familiar, there's a good chance you grew up with an emotionally immature parent. Someone who maybe loved you in their own way, but who never really built the emotional tools an adult is supposed to have. They had the age, they had the parental role, they just never had the emotional capability that's supposed to come with it. And when a kid grows up managing a parent instead of the other way around, it ends up negatively impacting your life for years. So today, we're going through 6 signs you grew up with one. Stay until the end, because the last one is the reason it took you this long even to see any of it. Number 1. Their mood was the weather in the house. Think back to walking in the front door as a kid. Did you just walk in, or did you scan the room first, look at their face, trying to figure out what kind of night it was going to be? That's not something a secure kid does. That's a kid who learned that the adult's mood was the most important thing in the house, and that reading it early was their job. When a parent can't handle their own emotions, everyone else starts to orbit around them. The whole house goes quiet when they're angry. Everyone tries to act happier when their mood is up, so it lasts a little longer. You didn't get to just exist and be a kid in your own home. You had to keep one eye on the sky at all times, waiting to see if it was going to turn. Number 2. Your feelings always turned into their feelings. When you were hurt as a kid, when you were the one crying, what happened next? Did they comfort you? Or did it somehow become about them? Do you know how hard this is for me? After everything I do for you? And just like that, you're not the one being comforted anymore. An emotionally immature parent can't hold space for your feelings because their own always fill the room first. There's no room left for yours. So, through their actions, you learned that your emotions were an inconvenience, and you got really, really good at dealing with them alone, so there wouldn't be any negative reactions. Number 3. The rules changed depending on their mood. Was there any real consistency growing up? Or did the exact same thing get laughed off one day and screamed at the next, and you genuinely never knew which version of them you were about to get when you opened the door? Kids can handle strict. Kids can even handle harsh if it's steady. What they can't handle is unpredictable. Because unpredictable means you can never actually relax. You're always walking around a little braced. You start reading tiny shifts in their face and their voice, adjusting yourself second to second, anything to keep the peace. That's why so many people who grew up like this describe being a kid as exhausting. Not dramatic, just tiring. Because you were quietly working a full-time job no child should ever have been given, keeping an adult stable. Quick thing before number 4. If any of this is relatable and you want to keep seeing content like this, you should like and subscribe. It's the best way you can help us reach more people who are interested in psychology just like you. Number 4. They could never say sorry. Think about the last time they were clearly in the wrong. What did you get? A real apology? Or just silence and them changing the subject? For an emotionally immature person, being wrong doesn't register as just being wrong. It feels like a threat to who they are as a whole person. So they can't apologize because apologizing feels like admitting they're bad, not that they made a mistake. Instead, you get defensiveness or flat-out denial. And when nothing ever actually gets repaired, you grow up believing that's just what conflict is, a problem that has no resolution. So you become someone who either avoids it completely or over-apologizes for everything, because someone always had to be the bigger person to clear the air, and it's always been you. Number 5. You felt more like their parent than their kid. Be really honest about this one. Growing up, who was actually taking care of who? Were you the one calming them down when they spiraled, keeping the peace between everyone else, trying to be the easy kid so you didn't add anything to their plate? Did you feel responsible for their mood? There's a name for this. It's called parentification. When a parent can't hold themselves together, the kid quietly gets handed the job instead. You became the little adult in the room, and everyone around you thought of it as a good thing. So mature for their age, they'd say, almost proud. However, nobody noticed that a kid being that mature usually means there was a grown adult in the household that wasn't. Number 6. You still don't fully trust your own feelings. This is the one that goes the deepest, and it's the reason it took you this long to notice any of the others. When you grow up with a parent who denies what happened, minimizes your feelings, or tries to manipulate you by saying things like, "That never happened," "You're too sensitive," "You always exaggerate everything," you slowly stop trusting your own ability to perceive what is actually happening. You start needing someone outside your own head to confirm that what you felt was reasonable. So even now, you're grown, but you second-guess yourself all the time. You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you overreacted. You feel guilty setting a small boundary. You struggle to even say what you need out loud. Because for your entire childhood, what you needed was usually the least important thing in the room. So why do you hold on to all of this for so long? Because you never experienced any of it as strange. It was just home to you, and you never questioned if it was right or wrong. It was the standard by which you lived by. But here's what you need to hear. Seeing this clearly doesn't mean you have to hate your parents. Most emotionally immature parents were raised by emotionally immature parents themselves. They were just handing down the very thing they were shown. Understanding that isn't about letting them off the hook, and it isn't about blaming them either. It's about finally seeing the pattern clearly enough that it can stop with you. You weren't too sensitive. You were never too much. You were a kid doing a job you should never have been given, and the fact that you're here right now, trying to understand it instead of just repeating it, means you're already doing the one thing they never could. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.